What up, folks? I'm back once again doing another video game review, and this time I'm reviewing Commando, which was released on the NES back during the late 80s. I'll say between like 87 and 88. Now, Commando is pretty much a top-down shooting game. It's also worth noting that Commando was released on other consoles like the Atari 2600 and the PC. But the NES version is pretty much the most popular version of Commando, and the plot involves a soldier named Super Joe who jumps into the jungle and fights an enemy army. And you pretty much start with pretty much like an M16 and a handful of grenades, and pretty much you're fighting against different types of soldiers like grunts, RPGs, the mortars, and other types of soldiers. And pretty much you go through four missions with 4 different sections in them. In each mission. Now, as you go through the game, you do have you can find the 5 grenades throughout the course of the game, and the power-ups you can find are a machine gun, the super grenades, a radio, and a bulletproof vest. Now, the machine gun you can get by rescuing a POW, and with this specific POW that you rescue, he will hold up a machine gun, a pretty much assault rifle, let you know that it is the machine gun. And of course, speaking of the POW, you pretty much rescue POWs in each section, and each time you rescue them, it's 1,000 points. And each time you complete a section, you get bonus points based off the fact that you do rescue the POWs, and you get 10. The most you can rescue in a section are 10, and the more POWs that you rescue, the more bonus points you get. Now, with the like the super grenade, once it shows up in a particular, it's only in the first section of each mission. Once you uncover it, it shows it, and you grab it, and once you toss it, it will wipe out all of the enemies on the screen. Now with the bulletproof vest, you can pretty much get that. It'll stop like a certain. The enemies, you can get hit by the bullets, but you're not what's the word on? You're not the bulletproof vest can only take so many hits after you grab it, so you gotta be careful not to get hit so many times with the bulletproof vest on, or you will die eventually. And one thing about the radio is that you have to be on the second section to get it. The way you get it is pretty much you have to be at the bridge, specifically at the bottom half of it, before you get on the bridge. All you pretty much have to do is toss a couple of grenades at the bottom of the bridge, and once that happens, the radio will show up, and once you touch the radio, an airstrike will be called in killing all the enemies, and the helicopter will come in and pick you up and take you to the third section of each mission. In the last section of each mission is pretty much the enemy base that you infiltrate. And once you beat the last section of each mission, they say, congratulations, you beat the mission, and they'll take you to the next mission. And pretty much the four sections are the same thing, where it pretty much loops itself each time for all four missions. It's now, some people might complain about that, but it's really not that big of a deal where the missions like loops itself over again in terms of the level design. And now the graphics and the level designs are pretty good on Commando, and the NES version of Commando is the best one that can be found when you compare it to the other parts of Commando. The gameplay of Commando is simple, but it does work for the game. You know, it's not that hard and it's easy to pick up. And the soundtrack for Commando, much like the other Capcom games that was released for the NES, is pretty good. You know, because for the most part, the soundtrack for a lot of the for Capcom games on the NES are known to be excellent, like Mega Man, like DuckTales, stuff like that. Now, it is worth noting that Commando isn't a cakewalk. It is challenging, but it's not like one of these games that is frustrating to the point that you want to break your controller, but it's challenging to the point you want to actually beat the game. You know. Now I'll say it's one of, if I would say had a top 25, say top 25 or 50 best Nintendo, well, not Nintendo, but NES games that were actually good, I would definitely put that Commando on the list. As far as like gripes, I don't have. There is none that come to mind for my, as far as my opinion is concerned. But it is pretty good. Like far as the score is concerned, I would definitely give it an 8. You know, I would say mainly because compared to say like Mega Man and the Mega Man series and stuff, it hasn't like aged as well as that particular series, but the graphics are still good. You know. So if you played Commando and you liked the game, you can pretty much mention it in the comment section of this video. If you like the review of this video, you can click the thumbs up button. Don't hesitate to do that, and don't forget to subscribe. This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 12 signing off.